Harambee! Neno hili si hivyo. Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a speech which William Ruto gave during the swearing-in ceremony of Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki as the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya in November last year. I want to play for you that clip, just around 1 minute of it only. Because in that clip, William Ruto said this.
My dear Professor Kindiki, I need your voice. I need your intellect to help me and to help members of our cabinet to profile the things we are doing, to speak to the things that we are doing. I have almost become a lonely voice in the executive, especially in the presidency, speaking about our projects, speaking about our programs, elaborating on what we are doing. You are eloquent, my brother. You are intelligent, my brother. I am confident that you will do that which I have missed for the last 2 years. I know you will.
That is William Ruto talking about Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki. Today, William Ruto met with over 10,000 teachers at State House in Nairobi. Again, William Ruto said these words, which has really annoyed Rigathi Gachagua.
Ndugu walimu hamjambo. Walimu hoye. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Huyu naibu wangu mnamuonaje? Ni noma si noma? Ni fire si fire? Unajua ukitaka kufaulu, ukitaka kufaulu, unatafuta deputy amesoma kuliko wewe. If you want to succeed, you put people around you who are more intelligent than you. Saa ile wanakusaidia kushine, you take the credit, wao ndio wanafanya job. Si ndio? Nilikuwa na mwingine alikuwa analalamika hajasoma. Nikaona ataniangusha.
And just like it was expected, Rigathi Gachagua has responded ruthlessly to President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Personally, if I were given a chance to advise President Ruto, just 2 minutes only, my advice to the president would be very simple. Please, Mr. President, leave Rigathi Gachagua alone. Because Rigathi Gachagua has proven over time that he can really dismantle and destroy William Ruto into pieces. Just like in the last election, William Ruto used to destroy Uhuru Kenyatta. That's exactly what Rigathi Gachagua is doing to the president. I want you guys to listen to Rigathi Gachagua responding ruthlessly to President Ruto.
Nimeona huyu Ruto akisema ati amesoma sana, ati mimi bado soma. Ni kweli amesoma, ako na PhD ya uongo, si ndio? Ako na master ya wizi, ako na bachelor's degree ya mauaji, ako na diploma ya corruption and mismanagement, si ndio? Harambee! Madera hoye! Madera hoye! Madera hoye! Ninasikia hiyo mtoto nilimwambia mchague MP, alikuwa anasema atazikanyaga Karatina.
And by the way, before we proceed, I want to ask you, who is the most educated president Kenya has ever produced?
Wale wengine walinitangulia wangesamehewa. Mwingine angesema sikuwa na elimu ya kutosha. Mwingine angesema nilikuwa mzee. Mwingine angesema sikuelewa sana. Lakini mimi nitasema nini? I have no reason. Niko na experience ya kutosha. Nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Nimekuwa naibu wa rais miaka 10. Sio experience inatosha? Mimi sio mzee sana, si mimi ni kijana, mimi naelewa kufanya maneno. Ama namna gani? Mimi nimesoma ya kutosha. Hatujawahi kuwa na daktari ambaye ni rais wa nchi. Mimi si ndio? Mimi ni mtu naelewa. Mimi nimezaliwa huko mashinani. Sasa shida ya Kenya mimi naelewa. Sasa mimi nitasema nimekosa kufanya hii kazi kwa sababu gani?
Because most people have always attributed the success of Kenya to the late Mwai Kibaki. And of course, there are also those who believe very strongly that during Moi's era, he really performed as a president as far as unifying the country is concerned. But let us not get into that for now. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua responded to William Ruto the way he did? Or why do you think Ruto wanted to shame Rigathi Gachagua before the teachers? First of all, let us answer the question of why Ruto wanted this to happen. Number one, I think Ruto wanted to justify why Rigathi Gachagua failed as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, in quotes. You know, William Ruto picked Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate in 2022. And during that period, William Ruto really praised Rigathi Gachagua as one of the best.
And finally, in the end, the consensus pointed out to an individual who scored excellent points on every evaluative parameter. An astute debater with prodigious persuasive ability, a fantastic grassroots mobilizer, a disciplined and tireless political operative, a successful elected politician and business person, a principled politician of tremendous resilience and resolve, a fearless fighter for the right cause, and an indefatigable champion of the betrayed, persecuted, downtrodden, the despised, and the ignored. A living example of a true hustler who rose from the hardships of the aftermath of our freedom struggle to the pinnacle of professional, business, and political success. We are nominating a running mate, and I have every intention on my first day in office to sign an executive order in accordance with Article 21E of the Kenyan Constitution. Article 21E of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition Agreement that will provide this Kenyan an expanded role together with what the Constitution gives the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And having myself occupied that office for the last close to 10 years, I believe that that office can serve the people of Kenya better. We can get more output from the office of the Deputy President.
And as was expected, in politics, we have only two constants: the interest and the betrayal. It's debatable who betrayed who between Ruto and Rigathi. But for Ruto, he must justify why he impeached Rigathi Gachagua, especially before teachers. So the best justification is Rigathi was not educated well. Kindiki is more educated. And that's why he's able to work very closely with Kindiki while he could not do the same to Rigathi Gachagua. That's number one. Number two, in my view, the reason why Ruto is quoting his education is probably to justify some of the decisions which are very unpopular with Kenyans, which he's been making. For example, William Ruto decided in his own wisdom at some point to introduce finance bill, despite the fact that Kenyans were totally against it. And William Ruto has introduced, for example, the housing levy. And teachers have been asking themselves one question: how am I going to benefit as a teacher who is teaching in a remote village in Yakach, who has constructed his house? How am I benefiting from that? Probably he has to justify. In fact, I think my tomorrow's analysis should be about the teachers. Why Ruto met with the teachers? Because there must be something about teachers. So he wanted to justify, especially the housing levy to teachers. And in my own opinion, he thinks that only educated people will be able to understand what he is doing. And lastly, I also tend to think that the main reason why Ruto dragged Rigathi Gachagua is he wanted to explain to teachers the importance of education. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were Ruto, I'd simply ignore completely Rigathi Gachagua. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.